I love my plants and I love just how much joy and happiness this plant hobby brings me on a day-to-day basis. And in today's video, I want to share with you 5 plants that have been particularly serotonin inducing in the last couple of weeks. I'm just surprised by the sheer fact that I can even grow these plants inside my pretty dark home. It's just crazy. So I do hope you will enjoy this video. Grab yourself a cozy little drink, a little snack, and without further ado, let's get into the list. The first plant that I want to talk about is the Epipremnum pinnatum albo. Now, I did actually feature this plant in a recent plant favorites video already. However, I just have to show you guys this latest leaf over here that is looking so gorgeous. Are you kidding me? The variegation on this leaf, what? That is beautiful. When I saw this leaf, I audibly gasped. I was like, how is this possible? Because I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but the bottom of the plant is not very variegated. And this was never a highly variegated specimen. It never gave me leaves like this. At most, it would give me kind of maybe splotchy variegation over here, or maybe something over here, but it never did this. This is so freaking beautiful, and it has another little cute new leaf over here, and it's working on another leaf over here. It's just gorgeous, and I love the way that this plant looks. I love the way that it's climbing. It is just such a stunning, beautiful plant. And like I mentioned in that previous plant favorites video, it is so easy care. This is one of my easiest plants in my entire collection. Obviously, it's an Epipremnum, so that just means that it's incredibly easy. I do have this plant in semi-hydro, and I'm gonna show you the root situation, but please do not judge me, because this needs a repot desperately. Look at that. There are so many roots in here, and there are also a shit ton of roots in the actual pole. This girly is just crazy, growing like wildfire. Now, I will say I do keep this in a pretty dark corner, so I don't know why it even decided to spit out that beautiful variegated leaves. There is a lot of fungus nets around this moss pole. Dear Lord. Anyway, I don't know why she decided to pop off like this all of a sudden and give me such a beautiful variegation, but I am very thankful that she did. It's obviously freaking stunning, but I don't know what the future holds for this plant, because like I said, it lives in a pretty dark spot, and obviously I don't think it will continue sizing up much more than this. I don't think it will be throwing me more of these beautiful variegated leaves, just because it's pretty much, I would say, in very, very low light. And usually, in my experience, plants like this that are variegated, that are climbing, that you want to size up, require a lot more light. So I have no idea what's going to happen with this plant, but honestly, I am just so happy that she gave me this beautiful leaf, and I'm just gonna admire her, and I'm not gonna complain. This plant is literally just bringing me so much joy. Epipremnum pinnatum albo variegata. Okay, let's talk about a smallie but a goodie. This is my Anthurium Bessiaf papillilaminum hybrid. And look how stinking cute this plant is. Now, if you've been on my channel, you know my feelings when it comes to Anthuriums. I do love them, but I do feel like they are extremely overpriced right now. I feel like a lot of them just look the same, especially these pappy hybrids. So I don't have a lot of them, but that is why I can have plants like this. This didn't cost an arm and a leg, and I can still love it, and I can still have a pretty hybrid Anthurium in my collection. And honestly, I am just loving this cutie so much. Obviously, this is not like a mature specimen or anything. It's still rather small. It also does have a couple of dings, I assume, from spider mites. But it is such a beautiful, beautiful plant. And obviously, we all know anthuriums, they have that really, really cool, just velvety, soft texture. And this plant is no exception. It is so dark. I just love it. And I love the way it looks. It's not huge yet. I don't know how big these can get. From what I can tell, it's not gonna get like massive, but it just looks so cute. And it lives over here on my little video shelf. And I don't know, I feel like it's just such a cute little addition to this shelf. It looks adorable, it looks precious. I love it, like I mentioned. It's just the texture of it. It has a really nice, you won't be able to tell on camera, but it has like a really nice like sheen. And it is just a plant that is bringing me a lot of joy, and also an anthurium that I would say is pretty resilient. I've had this thing, I grew it from like a tiny little plant, and when it got to me, it obviously went through some shock because it was shipped during the winter. And anthuriums are just known for being kind of sensitive, but it has recovered quite easily. It is rooted like crazy, as you can tell. And I feel like it is just now on a really, really good trajectory. Now, unfortunately, like I mentioned, the previous 2 leaves were damaged by spider mites. And I am on top of treating this thing. I'm actually on top of treating my whole collection right now. I'm just like going through and treating everything. Because, yeah, the spider mites have been just out of control over here. But even despite that damage, I think this plant is just so beautiful, so stunning, doesn't require a lot of light. And in fact, I feel like this plant prefers a lot less light because, for example, I have this little wonky guy over here that grew under my Barina lights as well, but it was on one of these like lower shelves that's closer, so it was closer to the light. And I feel like this leaf did get like not only wonked but also like bleached. And so I have it now pretty far from the Barina lights, and it seems to be loving that. I mean, anthurium on the whole are like more understory, lower light kind of situations. And I really appreciate plants like that because then I can put them in these like more lower light situations and they can just still grow and still look beautiful and still add something really, really cool to my collection. And yeah, I mean, I'm not the biggest like anthurium grower. I would love to have more anthuriums. I feel like whenever I talk smack about anthuriums, people maybe get the wrong idea because I do love anthuriums. I think they're beautiful. The fact that they all look the same is something different, but I do feel like they're very, very beautiful and I would love to have more of them, but they're just way too expensive and way too out of my like price range. I'm not gonna pay like 3-digit numbers for a plant, and I'm not gonna pay like, I don't know, 50, 60, 70 euros for like a little seedling. That's just not gonna happen. But I do love the ones that I have, and I feel like the ones that I do have are growing fairly well on the whole, except my Warocqueanum, but that's a whole nother story. But I do really, really like this one at the moment. The Bessier F Papillilaminum Hybrid. Also, I believe that the Bessier F is a little bit more of a finicky anthurium. I don't know about the like pure Papillilaminum, but obviously hybrids usually have like the hybrid vigor and they usually grow a lot better than their parents. So on the whole, if you're looking for like an easy-ish, like more unique hybrid anthurium, I would go for that one. You guys are probably gonna be mad at me, but please just like stick with me, okay? Okay, don't look at the plant that I'm grabbing. Okay, yeah, I know. If you've been on my channel, you're probably sick of this plant, but it is my Alocasia Frydek. I just have to show you because she is just getting better and better and bigger and stronger. Like, look at her. She is absolutely massive. This plant, literally, I showed this plant a lot. And it's just, every time I show it, it's somehow even more bigger, even more beautiful. This, I believe, is the latest leaf. And like, just look at the size of that. Look at the size of that. That is huge. That is huge, okay? And she is working on like a brand new leaf over here. I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but like she has another one coming in. That is insane. I freaking love this plant. It is literally one of my favorite plants in my collection. I constantly talk about this plant. I even made now like a couple of TikToks about this plant and how I take care of that plant, and there's been a lot of interest in this plant, and I just freaking love it. And honestly, I feel like the Alocasia Friedag is gonna be another one of those plants that I push on this channel alongside like the Linearis, and I feel like a couple of you already gotten a Friedag because of me and my videos, and I'm honestly proud of myself for doing that, for influencing you to buy a Friedag. And I really hope that those of you who did get a Friedag are just happy and growing her. I know this can be a bit of a finicky plant. I've had my fair share of troubles with this plant. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, when I first got this plant, we were struggling for months, but I mean, look at her now. She is massive, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with her, honestly. She lives on my Vitio shelf down here, and she is outgrowing this space. And with this newest leaf, I feel like it's gonna be too big for that space, because like I already had a couple of leaves, I think it was this one, that got a little bit burned by the grow lights. So I honestly, honest to God, have no idea what I'm gonna do with this plant. I actually have another plant, my Inferium clarinervium, which y'all know that I love, again, if you've been on my channel, that also outgrew this shelf. And I don't know where I'm gonna put these like bigger plants, because obviously I wanna keep them looking this beautiful and stunning, but clearly they just won't be able to fit on the shelves anymore. So I think I will have to make another little planty like corner or display shelf or something like that, but I don't know where, I don't know how I'm gonna make it. I don't know. I have a couple of ideas in my mind. I thought of maybe getting a couple more of these like Pianta grow lights, the ones that I have hanging, the one that I have hanging above my Monstera albo. Those are amazing. I love that grow light. And like having just like a couple and then like putting plants beneath them. Or I have been thinking of doing a similar setup to Alice. I think her username on YouTube is You Don't Even Grow Her. You Don't Even Grow Here, sorry. She's like an amazing like Inferium grower, really cool content. I really love her chill vibe. Like she's just a cool person, you know what I mean? So I do love her a lot, and she recently did this like DIY IKEA like adjustable system for her plants, and it looks really amazing, and the fact that it's adjustable is really cool. So I was thinking of maybe doing something similar, but I honestly don't know where I would put it. I swear to God, because my studio, I feel like it's kind of established, and it's already full, and I feel like I don't know, I don't want to clutter it with more furniture. So I don't know. I was thinking of maybe doing something in my bedroom, but like, if you've been on my channel, y'all know that I neglect my bedroom plants. But then again, maybe if I had plants like this that I really love in my bedroom, maybe it would motivate me more to actually take care of the bedroom plants. I don't know, maybe. But anyway, that's gonna be for another video. For right now, I just want to show you this beast. I'm not gonna talk much about her because I always talk about her. She is in semi-hydro. I would say that the reason that she is so luscious and gorgeous and beautiful is because of semi-hydro. And I can actually see that her reservoir is completely empty. And I filled it up literally to the brim the other day. So this is a thirsty gal. And that probably means that it also needs a repot soon, which like, I can't. Girl, you need to slow down a little bit, okay? But like, I love her so much. Oh my God. Alocasia Friedag. And I promise that I'm not gonna show this plant anymore, okay? At least for like a couple of months, okay? I know I can be a little bit annoying with this plant, but like, Seriously, come on, look at her. She looks so good. And I love having her in the background of my videos because she just looks divine. Next up, we're going to be talking about my Hoya Bertoniae. And the reason that this thing made it on the list is because it is in blooming season. Look at those cute freaking blooms. They're so stinking cute. Like, come on, they are precious. And y'all, they smell so nice. They literally smell like caramel. And I love this plant. And she actually has like a couple of peduncles. She has one over here that is about to open soon. Look at that. That is so cute. And then she just has like a couple of random peduncles here and there. So this plant is such a prolific bloomer and such a easy plant. Like, this might as well be plastic. And if you are looking for a easy care, low light tolerant, drought tolerant, easy blooming Hoya, get yourself the Hoya Bertoniae. I don't think you will be disappointed. This is a set it and forget it kind of plant. This plant gives me absolutely no issues. It is so cute. You won't be able to tell on camera, but it has such like little fuzzy, cute leaves. It is absolutely precious. The leaves are dark. It cascades absolutely lovely. It lives on my video shelf, gives me no troubles whatsoever. However, I will say that this thing recently had a bit of a aphid issue, and I've actually had aphids on this thing last year as well, which is very random. I've never had aphids on any of my other plants, I believe, but this one had them like a couple of times. But I find that it's not hard to get rid of them. You just like have to really, really spray the shit out of it, because obviously this is a very bushy plant and aphids are very, very small and they just get into all the like little nooks and crevices. What is that? Oh my God, I was scared it was a mealybug. I saw something white and I was like, no, but it's not. Whew. Okay, it's just, you know how Hoyas, like when they like bleed, they get the white stuff, and then when the white stuff dries, it's like, it looks kind of like a mealybug. Anyway, it's not a mealybug, but this did have aphids. I'm not seeing any aphids on it right now, but also aphids, I feel like, are just they're not really an issue. They're a bit of a nuisance and it can take some time to get rid of them, but like they really don't do any major damage to my plants. They do like attacking Hoyas, I find, and in particular they like attacking the blooms and like any of the new growth, but this plant really doesn't mind. This plant for me is chronically dry. I always underwater this thing, but it's still blooming. It's still giving me these gorgeous cute blooms, and I just love the blooms. They're so like cute. They look like little like jelly beans, and they're really, really precious. The only thing that I don't like about Hoya blooms is that they just like make a mess, because first of all, the sap can get everywhere, and once they dry, they just like fall and get all over the place. But I'm not gonna complain because it's beautiful, it's stunning, and again, this plant is literally just in auto mode because I do nothing with this plant, and it is constantly rewarding me with new growth, new blooms, everything. Like, just I can't say enough good words about this plant. So once again, if you are looking for a good hardy Hoya, I highly recommend the Hoya Bertoniae. And then the last plant that we're going to be talking about is a philodendron. Y'all, I know it's always such a wonderful time when I actually praise a philodendron on this channel, and when a philodendron does well for me. This is my philodendron splendid. Look at that new leaf. Look at it. It is gorgeous. This is a cross of the philodendron melanochrysum and philodendron verrucosum, which are both extremely difficult divas, but this child of theirs is literally easy peasy lemon squeezy. And Y'all know, if you've been on my channel before, me and philodendrons, we don't get along. We are not friends. We are acquaintances at best. But this plant, this philodendron, is rather easy going. And it is sizing up pretty well, as you can tell. However, it is already at the top of its moss pole, so I will need to do another extension. And I have been kind of thinking like whether I should just cut it right now and then just like restart it, or like give it one more extension. But I feel like I want to try giving it one more extension because I just want to see how big these leaves can get. And I'm not sure how big they can get because like they're not going to receive, the higher they grow, the less light the plant will receive because my windows just aren't that high enough. So I'm not sure where this plant will end up and how it will end up, but I find that this plant actually doesn't need like a ton of light to size up. And on the whole, it's a pretty hardy plant. I will say it's a pretty thirsty plant. And I will say that obviously it is a philodendron, so it is a absolute thrips magnet. I constantly shower this thing. I constantly treat this thing for thrips because yeah, it's just so prone to pests. But honestly, I don't mind putting in like just the little extra bit of work it takes to keep up with this plant's maintenance because it is so gorgeous. And like when it rewards me with leaves like this, it makes it all freaking worth it. I really love just like the dark coloring, and then with that bright neon venation, it's a beautiful, beautiful plant. Now, I only have one vine growing up the moss poles, so eventually my plan is when I'm gonna be chopping it, I think I want to grow at least 2 vines in here just to make it a little bit more bushy because obviously a lot of philodendrons, this one included, have pretty like long internodal spacing, which is the space between like 2 leaves. And then it just kind of, I don't know, like this pole looks fine, but I feel like it would look a lot better and like just fuller if I had 2 vines growing up here. And I can tell that she's actually getting ready to push out another new leaf. So this is a pretty prolific, fast growing philodendron. And yeah, we have just been really, really getting along, and I have been really, really loving it. I didn't even notice, but like the sinus on this like latest leaf is kind of like reddish. It's kind of giving butthole. But yeah, it's a beautiful plant. It's velvety. It has that gorgeous sheen. I love this plant, and I feel like I'm so happy that I finally have like a couple of philodendrons in my collection that are actually looking good. This is the Philodendron Splendid, and it lives up to its name. Those are all the plants that are currently filling me with a lot of joy and serotonin. I would love to hear from you guys which of these plants was your favorite, and are there any plants in your collection that are just giving you a little bit more serotonin these days? I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and turn on the notifications so you're notified about every new video. I hope you have a super amazing, fabulous day, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye!